Okay, so this is our last video on compound interest. So we're not introducing any new theory, but we're going to use this theory to work out stuff like the interest rate and time. Okay, so this question we're looking at finding interest rate. Remember our equation is Vn equals V0. Now, strictly speaking, it's R to the power of n. But remember, we want interest rate, which is R. So we need to change this to Vn equals V0, 1 plus R over 100 to the power of n. And in this case, we're after, not that, I can't believe I did that. We're after that. Okay, so we're after R. So what have we got here? We have got V0, that's our enabling investment. That's what we're saying is V0. And we've got Vn, because that's what we're going to grow to. That's our final amount. We've told it's 2 years compounding quarterly. So what does that mean? That means n equals 2 years times 4, because that's the compounding quarterly. So n equals 8. So if I wrote this out, I'm going to have V8 equals V0, 1 plus R over 100 to the power of 8. So let's put some numbers in. That means Vn, the Vn, which is a V8, which is 4,000, equals 3,000. 1 plus R over 100 to the power of 8. Okay? Now, here's how the book does it. Here's how Jack Plus does it. So they've worked out the 8. They then do a whole bunch of things using the Rn, and then they change out the R to the 8 to do a whole lot of other stuff. My suggestion is either use solve or TVM. Okay? I'm going to do solve first because I've got my equation there, and that's what I'm going to put into my calculator. So I've written out solve already just because I want to save a bit of time. I'm going to put 4,000 equals 3,000. Okay, times, put some brackets here. I'm going to go 1 plus, then we go to this and we go R because that's what we're after. If I can find R, over 100. Should have been R there. Okay, so now we want to come to the outside here and we're going to bring up and we're going to go to the 8 because remember that n was 8. So what we need to do now is put a comma because we're saying we want to find that R. That's what we're after. That's what we're solving for. We're solving for R. So we don't have to transpose. We don't have to move anything else like the book suggests. We're just saying R is what we want. And we go enter. Now, this is not the final number. So we've got 3.6 so that is the per period. So that's how much interest has been charged for 1 quarter. But I've got 4 quarters. So I'm going to go 3.66146. I want to get as many numbers here as I can. 49628. Okay, times it by 4 because I've got 4 quarters, and I get 14.65. Okay, so I get R from that has been, what did I get? 3.66. 3.66% per quarter. And so therefore R per percentage per annum is 14.65%. Let's use solver. N is 8. I is what we're after. PV in this case, it's an investment. So this is something I'll get into a little bit later in more detail, but I need to put, in this case, I'd need to put needed because I'm basically giving money to the bank. So that's why that goes 3,000. Payments, 0 is normal. Final value is 4,000. My payments per year are 4. So if I put that in the calculator, I go menu, finance solver. Let's put in 8 minus 3,000, 4,000 for my final value. My payments per year are 4. So I click over here, press enter, and I get, because I had it up before, I get 14.65%, which is what we get for that answer. Okay, so that's the process you need to follow for an example like as shown here. Okay, so let's have a look at worked example 11. So worked example is saying how long. So we're finding a time. Okay, how long? And how do you get that from this question? Knowing how long is telling you that it's a time thing. Okay, will it take 2,000 to amount to 3.5? So that's our V0, that's our Vn, this is our R, and we know it's an R because it's per annum and we're compounding annually. Okay, so again, this is where we can actually, let's paste that in. We can actually use Finance Solver again as a way to calculate this. Okay, so our number of payments is unknown, so that's what we're after. Our interest is 8%. Our principal value is, so that's going to be, in this case, negative 2,000. Payments again is 0. My final value is 3.5, and my payments per year are 1. Now remember, it's negative because I'm putting in the bank, and that's where the money's going to the bank. Okay, so that's how we can. That's the information we put in there, and now what we do is let's go here. That's what we're after, so we'll leave that. So our interest is 8%. Our value here is negative 2,000. Payment to 0. Final value is 3.5. My payments per year are 1. And if you remember, so that's usually the same thing there. Not always, but generally. And we want to go back to our number of payments, and we go enter. So it says 7n is equal to 7.27. So that means how long will it take 2,000 with the interest compounded annually? So in this case, n, hang on, interest, because it's compounded annually, okay, because of that, n represents the number of years. Okay, it won't always represent, so if you had it compounded quarterly, n would represent how many quarters there are, okay, or weekly, it represent the weekly ones. Okay, so n represents a number of years, and we've said n equals 7.27. Because we do it every year, we're going to say that n equals 8 years, because you sort of round up because you're into the 8th year anyway. Okay, so that's our answer. All right, it will take 8 years for 2,000 to amount to 3,500. Worked example 12. Again, let's get a copy of this so I can. Okay, this one we want to find the interest periods. Okay, so when we calculate the number of interest-bearing periods, n required, and hence the time it will take 3,600 V0, because that's the amount we're putting in, to amount to 5,100. So that's going to be Vn at a rate of 7% per annum. So that's our R. Now, this is what I was talking about a little bit before. So we're solving for N, but so we get a number of quarters there are, but that means how many that can deconvert that to years. So let's work that out. Let's put that into our thing here. So N, in this case, so N is, we don't know, we're questioning it. I is 7. Principal value is going to be minus 3600. PMT is going to be 0. Final value is going to be 5100. Payments per year are going to be 4 because it's compounded quarterly. Okay. And we put down the calculator. So let's do that. So I is 7. That's going to be minus 3600. And then that's going to be 5100. Payments per year are going to be 4. And we want to get back to N because we need to be in N to press it. And we go enter. And, ooh, when you set a number and you know you've made a mistake somewhere. That's better. So it's 20, so basically it's going to be 20.08. So what it's saying is I need 20.08 quarters. Okay. So basically what we're saying that N is going to be 21. So I need 21 quarters are required. Therefore, I want to convert that to number of years. Well, 4 goes into 25 times and get 1 left over. So it's going to take, it will take 5 1/4 years to go from 3600 to 5100. Oh. At 7%. Okay, so that's how you can use Solve and TVM. So that's what I'd be using for these sorts of questions. Thank you.